Mr. Lubowa,
Yes.
you've just been elected as chairperson of the...
They were elected in the past elections.
The past elections that we just had.
Yeah, exactly.
Just held. Who was there before you?
Or
Or there were no councils? Was there anybody?
No, there
before you?
was a council which was elected in 2016. Unfortunately, many leaders didn't even know about it. And they faced a lot of problems, even to introduce themselves to the state authority, even in other levels, even at division levels. It was very difficult because people didn't know. And that's why now for us, when we were elected in December, we decided to go and visit those whom we are going to work with.
Okay.
We have visited the minister in charge of
Kampala?
In charge of Kampala.
Honorable Betty Amongi?
Exactly. We have also visited the Minister of Gender on top there, because we follow in that ministry. Then we have also visited the Chief Executive of Kampala. I think we have had very good reception from them. And we are continuing to see that we establish ourselves and make people know that actually there is an effort by government to see that they look at the welfare of the older persons.
Okay.
Have
you already taken oath of office, or you still
not yet?
Elect?
Not yet.
When are you taking oath of office?
We are still in an area of trying to see how are we going to work.
But the question is, when are you supposed to swear in?
I think after the swearing in of the president.
You don't have the definite dates there?
No, we don't yet. We haven't got yet the different dates. But we are going to be sworn in May, when after the president.
Okay, how big is your council?
We have an executive council of 5 people who were elected. That is myself, Francis Anthony Lubowa, and the vice chairman is Honorable Francis Edward Babu. We have the secretary,
the Secretary General,
who is with us here,
General Secretary,
Mr. Biarhanga John Mary. Then we have the treasurer, who is Madame Nabakoza Grace. And then we have the one of communication or publicity, Mr. Henry Baguma, and the
Henry Baguma, the one who works with us at UBC.
Exactly.
He's part of your council?
Yes.
Okay.
He is.
Does he qualify?
He does.
He does qualify.
The qualification is only reaching 60 years.
Okay. So Baguma qualifies and he's part of it.
Exactly.
Well, I'm happy and let me come to Mr. Biarhanga, the General Secretary of the Other Persons here. Mr. Biarhanga, yes, first of all, congratulations that you are one of those who were elected in the last elections in December as older persons. But get us through what's expected of you at the Council for Older Persons in Kampala.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jagenda. Excuse me. In the first place, this council is elected by the Act of Parliament, which was enacted and assented to on 2013 by the President after inauguration. Then it started coming to force. These councils, in first place, you had a question that who qualifies to be an older person. According to the international law, whoever clocks 60 years it comes in that age bracket, 60 years and above. Those are the older persons. That's the first qualification of anybody to be an older person. So besides that one, we have laws that governs or informs our elections that we call National Council for Older Persons Act 2013, through which the Electoral Commission were able to organize these elections from the village level up to the national level, because we have executive members right from the village level, parish level, sub-county or division, then district level, then we go to national council, which is umbrella at the national level. Okay. And then besides that one, we have regional representatives. So we are, in case of our regions, we have 4 regions. That is Central, Western, Northern, and Western. We have those representatives. whom we are elected from among ourselves. So, because now, after elections of the Council for the Persons at District level, we converge in our respective regions. We elect those 5 representatives who are going to represent us in the National Council. Then from there, now we thank the President also. He has given us the slot of MPs who have 5 slots.
Okay.
So now, what we are expecting as City Council, it will depend on I mean, we are going to work within our law because we have functions. But our cardinal function is advocacy. Advocacy, it is our cardinal function to advocate and to monitor government programs and regulations and laws that are in place to help the older persons. In case of our Kampala district.
During your elections, did they elect you from the grassroots?
Yes.
Or,
yes.
So you came from,
exactly.
Which is your village, for example, in Kampala?
For me, I'm from Sultan village, Nakasero 4 parish.
Sultan Nakasero 4.
Nakasero
So you
4
elected
parish.
at Sultan?
Yes, Sultan.
Then you came through the ranks?
I went to Nakasero 4 parish, then from Nakasero 4 parish, Kampala Central Division.
Okay.
Then our 5 divisions converged. Our 5 divisions converged, and they elected us 5 members. But this council is not ending with 5 members. Then we elect 2 representatives who are councillors, representing the older persons to the authority. So he is even at the division level or sub-county level. That's the law provides. So these 2 members, one is a female councillor, and then another one is a male councillor.
Okay.
For our case here, we have a male councillor and a female councillors, and it is done all over the country.
Done all over the country.
Yes.
Just hold it here, gentlemen. Mr. Byaruhanga and Chairman Lubowa. We will just briefly, first of all, go to Sheraton Hotel this morning, where there is a panel discussion for the World Health Day. And let's first take you to Sheraton Hotel and follow the proceedings there, then see what happens next.
Soap is a luxury for some of our communities. Just being able to distance, we can talk about distancing, but look at how some of our communities live. Being able to distance is not even an opportunity that they have. They have a patient with COVID in their house. Now we are doing home isolation. Where do you isolate a patient in some homes? So COVID is actually riding on that. Then we have populations that have had very inequitable access to health services. Because of that, they have a lot of underlying conditions. People have non-communicable diseases that are not even diagnosed. And if they are diagnosed, they are not even well managed. Because of that, these figures we see that make us think COVID is an equalizer are actually masking inequities, because we are not disaggregating enough who is affected where, to know that actually the poorer communities, the least, most vulnerable communities are the ones that are struggling. You can look at the statistics from the US, from Europe, everywhere. It's the same. It's the most marginalized groups of people that are getting COVID the most, that are dying the most. And we see this. So it is so inequitable. And as we move further, it's even going to become more inequitable. Look at the vaccine coverage that you've used as an example. Now we are arguing, has Israel actually reached herd immunity? There is a lot of argument there. It's very close, if it hasn't even gotten there. And they are opening up very rapidly. United Arab Emirates is following suit very quickly. UK, we are seeing the US and you really accelerating. So we are also seeing within countries, not everybody is being reached equally. We are going to very nearly in the future reach a point where there are pockets of COVID in the most vulnerable countries, and within countries in the most vulnerable communities. We are headed there very quickly if we don't have equitable access to some of the tools. When we have this misinformation and we can't vaccinate, what does it really do to us? It's actually hitting the most vulnerable. We who are busy sending out these crazy messages on social media, many of us are vaccinated, but our brothers and sisters out there who are misled are not coming out. So we are actually contributing to that, because sometimes the inequities start with information access to information, access to tools and services. So COVID is riding on these inequities, and we can't pretend that COVID is an equalizer. That is the first issue. The second issue is it has